Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. Behind every fighter sortie, security patrol, artillery range, and overseas deployment is a hidden system built around one dangerous responsibility: controlling military ordnance from the moment it is received until the moment it is issued for use. Munitions management is not just storage. It is inventory, inspection, assembly, transport, security, and accountability, all handled under strict procedures because one small error can affect an entire mission. At Osan Air Base in South Korea, members of the 51st Munitions Squadron prepare weapons for an A-10 during Operational Readiness Exercise Beverly Bulldog 11-03. The work begins long before an aircraft reaches the flight line. Airmen identify the required munition, verify serial numbers, check condition, move it from the storage area, and prepare it for loading teams. Every item is tracked because commanders must know what is available, where it is, and whether it is safe to use. Munitions squadrons operate like factories under military pressure. Components are separated, inspected, and assembled in controlled areas. Bomb bodies, fuses, fins, suspension lugs, containers, and handling equipment all move through a deliberate sequence. Airmen do not rush around explosives. They follow checklists, wear protective gear, maintain spacing, and use forklifts, trailers, and lifting devices to keep heavy ordnance stable. The connection between aircraft and munitions production is clear when airmen from the 366th Fighter Wing visit a defense contractor factory in St. Louis, Missouri, where F-15E Strike Eagles are produced. Aircraft, weapons, and maintenance teams are part of one chain. A fighter may carry the weapon, but the mission begins with the people who build, store, certify, and move the equipment that gives it combat value. Inside a munitions storage area, the scale becomes clearer. At Misawa Air Base in Japan, members of the 35th Operations Support Squadron toured the 35th Munitions Flight Storage Area, saw live ammunition, and learned how an inert practice bomb is assembled. These areas are separated from normal base traffic for safety and security. Access is controlled, explosive limits are respected, and storage positions are arranged to reduce risk. Moving munitions is its own mission. At Al Udeid Air Base, the 379th Expeditionary Logistics Readiness Squadron keeps munitions moving through cargo handling, loading, documentation, and delivery. At Ramstein Air Base, the 86th Munitions Squadron receives and stores shipments, turning incoming cargo into ready stock. Transportation units then move ammunition by convoy, using route planning, spacing, escorts, and careful loading. From factory floor to aircraft ramp, every container, pallet, and trailer is part of a guarded pipeline that keeps American firepower ready without losing control of the danger inside. This is why munitions specialists are treated as mission makers, not background workers. They protect the base from explosive accidents, protect aircraft crews from faulty loads, and protect commanders from uncertainty. In a crisis, speed matters, but verified control matters more. A weapon that is not counted, certified, and delivered correctly is not ready. It is risky even before the first order is given. Military armories form the smaller, daily face of the same weapon system. While munitions storage areas handle bombs, missiles, artillery rounds, and ammunition, armories control the rifles, pistols, machine guns, optics, protective equipment, and special weapons that service members need for duty. These rooms may look simple, but they are among the most tightly controlled spaces on a base. At Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni in Japan, a new armory stores weapons in metal lockers while Marines assemble and maintain rifles, including precision weapons. The upgrade is more than a building improvement. It creates better access control, better organization, and faster issue of weapons to units that may be preparing for training, security operations, or emergency response. The armory works by accountability. When a service member begins a shift, the armorer verifies identity, checks authorization, issues the assigned weapon, records the serial number, and often issues ammunition or related gear through a separate controlled process. The shift ends, or the exercise is complete, that same weapon returns to the counter. The armorer checks it, clears it, records it, and secures it again. This routine repeats every day across American bases at home and abroad. At Nellis Air Force Base, security forces armories support patrols and base defense duties. At Cannon Air Force Base, ammunition and weapons specialists support training ranges and operational requirements. At Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, the Armory supports a strategic deterrence mission tied to the 341st Missile Wing and Air Force Global Strike Command. The people managing these rooms are not just handing out weapons. They are inspecting conditions, enforcing safety, tracking paperwork, responding to alarms, and making sure no weapon leaves or returns without a record. A day in the life of an armorer can involve early weapons issues, rack inspections, cleaning checks, ammunition coordination, and late recovery after a long exercise. The armory is also a trust point. A base may have aircraft, missiles, vehicles, and command centers, but security still begins with the individual weapon. Whether supporting military police, gate guards, aircrew protection teams, Marines, or explosive ordnance disposal units, armories turn stored equipment into controlled readiness. The process is repetitive because it has to be. Every rifle, pistol, magazine, and key must match the record before the base can say its weapons are secure. In that sense, the armory is a checkpoint between stored force and disciplined action each day. Deep in Colorado, Cheyenne Mountain represents a different kind of military storage and protection. It is not an ammunition bunker, but a hardened defensive complex built to keep command, warning, and monitoring functions alive under extreme conditions. From Fort Carson, Cheyenne Mountain rises in the background, a reminder that some of America's most important military facilities were designed around survivability. The Cheyenne Mountain complex became famous during the Cold War, when the United States and the Soviet Union lived under the threat of nuclear confrontation. The Cuban Missile Crisis of October 1962 brought that danger into sharp focus as the world came close to nuclear war over Soviet missiles in Cuba. In that era, early warning, air defense, missile tracking, and command continuity were not abstract ideas. They were the difference between confusion and response. Inside the mountain, the complex was built behind massive blast doors and supported by tunnels, protected rooms, communication systems, power infrastructure, and operational floors. The design allowed personnel to work inside a hardened environment while monitoring threats to North America. NORAD and U.S. Northern Command used the site as part of the broader warning and defense network that watched the skies, tracked missiles, and supported decision-makers. The work required constant attention. Crews monitored screens, maintained communications, coordinated with outside commands, and prepared to pass warning information if air or missile threats appeared. During its years as a major command center, Cheyenne Mountain became one of the most recognizable symbols of American homeland defense, not because it stored weapons, but because it protected the information and command links needed to use national power responsibly. Today, the site is Cheyenne Mountain Space Force Station. Its role has evolved with modern threats, but the idea remains the same: preserve critical operations inside one of the most secure military environments in the United States. Space monitoring, missile warning support, communications, and defensive coordination now exist alongside newer systems and outside operations centers. The current NORAD and U.S. Northern Command Joint Operations Center continues the mission of Homeland Defense from Peterson Space Force Base, while Cheyenne Mountain remains a hardened, alternate, and specialized operating location. It is a fortress for decisions, signals, and time when seconds matter the most. Far from Colorado, another underground system gives the U.S. Marine Corps a different kind of advantage. In Norway, the Marine Corps Prepositioning program Norway stores vehicles, weapons, supplies, and equipment inside climate-controlled caves, allowing Marines to draw combat power in Europe without shipping every item from the United States. The program is managed by Headquarters Marine Corps and supported by Norwegian partners, including the Norwegian Defense Logistics Organization. It provides forward storage, maintenance, and prepositioning of equipment and supplies for contingency operations in Europe and beyond. This partnership matters because Norway's geography places the equipment near the high north, the Norwegian Sea, and NATO's northern flank. Inside the caves, readiness begins with preservation. Vehicles are parked in long rows. Supplies are protected from weather, and maintenance teams keep equipment from degrading. When Marines and Norwegian personnel enter for a draw, the process starts with planning and accountability. They identify what must move, match records, inspect vehicles, check fluid levels, test batteries, prepare communications gear, and stage the equipment near exit points. During cave draw operations, Marines and soldiers withdraw equipment from MCPP-N sites, then prepare it for movement. Once outside, they are lined up, checked again, and organized into convoys. The next stage is movement to port. Convoys travel toward locations such as Værnes and Orkanger, where equipment is staged for loading. Drivers maintain spacing, route security, and timing while Norwegian and US teams coordinate road movement. At Orkanger Port, vehicles and containers are prepared for ship loading. Ramps, tie-down points, cranes, and traffic control turn the port into a temporary military logistics hub. From munitions, squadrons, and base armories to Cheyenne Mountain and Norway's caves, the story is about controlled readiness. America's military hardware is not powerful because it is hidden away. It becomes powerful when trained people can secure it, maintain it, move it, issue it, command it, and recover it under pressure. The most important bunkers are not just places of storage, they are starting points of response. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.